Clark! How are you, my friend?
Hello, sweetie.
Wow.
Yes,
Well done, my friends.
That's goal.
Yes, well done.
That was
This
a
one,
lead.
can't wait to talk about it.
I'm excited for today's.
Are we starting?
Alright, welcome back to the Better Down Back podcast. Very special guest today, Em, and not pumping our own tyres, but we've come in on the back of our own 4-day break. Me and, well, I'm going to introduce him, Josh Corbett, Mr. Nice Guy, the nicest bloke in the world. Yeah, it's great to have him on board, and we appreciate you giving up some time, mate. So,
thanks for having me, long-time listener, and honoured to be on the podcast.
No, it's great. No, thank you guys. Appreciate you guys coming in. We actually are training today on the public holiday, and it is everyone else's public holiday, but the commitment to the pod is huge, so appreciate you both. Speaking on introducing the guest early, we just spoke off mic about some feedback from last week, was that the guest was kind of sitting here awkwardly for a bit, so Jordan has implemented that feedback straight away. So please join in, Josh.
Will do. I thought Sharpie was 10 out of 10 last week, so it's big shoes to fill, that's for sure.
yeah, no, he was very good, Sharp. A glowing review of you as well. Nominated you for an unsung hero around the club. Can't remember what the segment's called, but it's a great reward.
Off to a good start.
Yeah.
It's a link to the anchor.
Still
It's
learning me
anchors
role.
in action.
Yeah, no, that's what it was. I knew it. Anyway, it's an early morning too, Em.
Yes.
Early start for you. Long day ahead.
Long day ahead. Got offer to bring Jordan in a coffee, knowing that Josh doesn't drink coffee.
Yeah, no, thanks for the offer,
So
but
can
I
I
won't
be
be
an
drinking
unsung
that
hero
rubbish.
this week?
Yeah, I got up, had a green smoothie this morning.
Oh,
Spinach.
Made by yours
avocado.
truly?
Yeah.
or the missus?
Yeah. No, I don't drink that stuff.
Oh.
It's just an absolute lie.
Far too healthy, that stuff.
But
Anyway.
early morning,
Yeah.
weather's on
Weather's been horrendous.
not on the good side. Talk us a bit through your day. Like, what's the girls' sort of day? Is it full day, half day?
Yeah,
What
it is
do
a
you got?
full day today, which I think is really exciting for the girls, knowing that we usually train most afternoons from 4 o'clock onwards. So when we get a day session like you guys, I think it's a great opportunity to, I guess, utilise seeing the coaches and doing meetings and watching vision and things like that you don't normally get to do. So we kick off everyone has to be here before 8 a.m. and then we'll do treatment, a pre-training meeting, and then we're on the track by just after 9, which is awesome. So
Early start, yeah. Last week was good effort. I come down for the 1K time trials. It was very impressive. There was the obviously surprise 1K at the end. Thanks to Boris for that one for the girls, but they had a crack. You were pretty good yourself, Driz.
yeah, I'm definitely not an aerobic runner. Unlike Nathan, Mum and Dad definitely put all those slow twitch fibres into one child. But yeah, we did our 3x1Ks, and it was actually, I think it was a really good challenge for them to just tell us we were doing 2, and then we ended up doing that third one. I think you boys, did you do 3 or 4 this year?
For the first year, 3 this year. So,
Yeah.
but myself didn't do them. I did the 200s.
Yeah, nice.
Waved the white flag and pulled a fake injury and tried to get out of them. But yeah, on the back of that, really nice story about Corbs. Was going in for a hip replacement. So pretty much, we'll touch on it later, but hip was obliterated. And pushed yourself to run the 1Ks almost to the
unreal.
point of nearly having to be taken to hospital. So that is an incredible effort by you. And yeah, we'll touch on that a bit later. So yeah, on the back of last week's episode with Sharpie, you got some feedback for us, Corbs?
Yeah, I was impressed. I was very impressed. I thought that the chemistry was good early. There was a bit of banter. Obviously, it's good to see Driz on time, which is always a positive. So that's an early stitch up. Sorry about that one. No, it was good. I was really impressed.
Great. I think the comments were actually really positive. I think people liked it.
Yeah.
We did say one thing. We're not sure about the pilot mics
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
The
No.
headsets.
No, it's not bad though. I don't have the best looking ears, so it gives me a chop out. Not bad.
Yeah, no, that was about it, really. I think everything was pretty good, and obviously we really appreciate the listeners getting involved and sending in their comments. Feedback for the listeners. They need to send in some voice memos. We want to hear from them.
Yep.
You.
Only positive
Hello.
things. Only positive things. We're open to feedback though, but we just
And the listeners coming in
Yeah.
from these random countries. Have you seen that? We've got Sweden, Norway, Qatar, Netherlands, Spain, and Denmark. That's huge.
Look at the reach
We've
early.
gone
That's pretty
international.
impressive. That's
so
impressive early.
we're worldwide. That is not bad. We're growing the game. Not bad.
Oh
Not bad.
gosh! Hopefully they can host us. Let's do a
Yeah.
trip away.
Anyway, moving on. Driz, our mum's watching the Freo game in Northam yesterday, whilst Perth were versing West Coast in the Waffle.
Yeah, I've given
Right.
my mum a call, I reckon, at about 11:30, and I'm just like, hey, like, what are you doing? She's like, oh, you'll never believe who I'm sitting next to. I said, I bet I can. Is it Nat Clark?
Yeah.
It absolutely is. Those two gas bagging.
Oh.
It's going to be longer than the podcast goes
I would not
today.
get a word in. That'd be very impressive. I've sat next to your mother a few times at the football Drews. I remember one AFLW game last year at South Freo, and yeah, between the two of us, we did not draw breath the whole time. It was very impressive.
She's something else, and the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So thank you, Mum, for giving me the gift of the gab.
Yeah. No, and you use it to your strengths very well, Em. So well done.
But how good was that though? The waffle game in Northam though, having
Yeah.
Perth Demons versus the West Coast waffle side play
Yeah.
regionally. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, Dad was rapt about it. Drive all the way out to Northern. So that was great.
Well, if he wanted to listen to some feedback, he could have taken my call, but he doesn't seem to. He seemed to screen them.
Yeah. No, he didn't have a spare 2 hours to listen to you, Em. So anyway,
Moving on.
that's
you-
all right.
you
But no, in
kids
all
are-
seriousness, no, it is great for Northern.
Yeah.
West Coast had a good win, and yeah, it's good to see that the waffle comp is pretty even by the looks. Apart from our Peel boys, obviously tearing it apart at the moment, but did suffer a loss on the weekend, which was a bit disappointing. But they've been very good up until that stage.
Yeah,
so.
definitely. Yeah.
All right, let's get into this. Anchors in action.
Hey, put on your Superman case, boy. It's Wolfie time. Let's go.
So yes, probably my favourite segment. And Corbs, you were nominated last week, and I'm very interested to see who you will put up for grabs today, because you are a very well-connected man amongst these four walls. So we'll start with you. I'm not sure if you're across this topic, but this is an unsung hero around the club, someone that brings something good to the table, for their work that's not really recognised at times, and take it away.
Yeah, thanks. Shout out to the Sharpie. Thank you for the nomination last week, mate. I much appreciated. I'll send him that money afterwards. Mine's going to be Angie Bain. I think Angie Bain, for those who don't know, she's welfare coordinator through the men's and women's program, and I think she probably does get a bit of recognition, but I don't think you can give her enough with the stuff that happens, particularly off field. I think a lot of people would reach out to her just for things when they might be struggling away from home or just need a bit of a pick up at times. So yeah, Angie's definitely mine. So shout out to her.
Does Winnie? Sorry to cut you off, but does Winnie come into that? Because without Angie, you don't get Winnie.
Yeah,
So.
look, it's probably a 2-for-1 deal, isn't it?
Yeah,
Package deal.
righto.
So yeah, we'll put Winnie
Yeah.
and Angie in there together.
Great one. Love Angie. Do you want to go next? I'm still.
Yeah,
thinking,
I'm going to go the
actually.
2-for-1 as well, because without one, you don't get the other, and that's Paulie Salas and Springer.
Lovely.
Yeah,
I
they
love
just
those two.
they work like dogs, those blokes, and they probably don't get enough recognition at all, and not enough help probably at times. They're packing the truck, they're unpacking the truck, they're washing clothes. Like last night, we get off the plane at about 7:30. Sunday arvo all night, and they've got to come in and spray all the white jumpers, put them in the washing machines. I dare say they're back here early this morning,
They
getting
will
them
be.
out, sorting it all out. And yeah, I think those two don't get enough recognition, and they are the backbone of the club, and not just those two, but people like them. So it's important we recognise that.
No, it's insane. And I feel like Paulie, did anyone know he's actually a qualified masseuse? So he does massage, like.
Yeah, if you've had a rub off
Remedial.
Paulie, you'll know about it,
Yeah.
because he's got some of the strongest hands in the business, that bloke. I think he enjoys when people are in pain. So yeah, I did know that. He's very good at it.
Jack of all trades. I love that. And for mine, I'm actually going to do a player this week. Ange Sannett just had her ACL recon. And she, if anyone knows Ange, she's probably one of the most positive people ever, and this has really rocked her. But just still that connection piece, just like you, Josh, with the group. Ange has just been able to maintain those relationships with everyone at the club, and still sending in the most positive messages, still kind of posting on her social media saying, can't wait to go through all the lulls of this and actually share with, like, I guess, the public how much it actually does suck, but knowing that there's an outcome at the end and that she'll get back and play footy. So she's just been absolutely incredible. She is one of my best mates. I don't know if I'm allowed to give her a plug, but yeah, she's been amazing. I cannot wait to see her come back bigger, better, stronger.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good on Ange. We're all behind her, so all the best with her recovery.
Moving on to the game.
Yep, Alice Springs, what a place. Great result for the team. After the first couple of minutes where they kicked two and we hadn't touched the footy, I was thinking, oh no, we're in for a long day here. But
It was beautiful though.
Yeah.
in Luke Jackson's words. It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
no, I think that's what it was. Just the backdrop got us for the first 10 minutes. It was,
Was you admiring it?
Yeah.
Just quietly, the road train in the background. Geez, that was impressive to watch. I don't know what it was like when you were there playing, but watching was just like, this is amazing in another world, it looked like.
Yeah, it was. It was kind of really weird. Obviously, you're a Warrnambool lad, and you'd have played a bit of country footy in your time, and you're from Northern Driz, and yeah, it just had a real nice country feel to it.
So
It was probably the best part after the game was just coming together as a group, sitting in there and sitting down, sharing a laugh. Cheeky little beer there for the lads, but yeah, it was awesome. It was something that it was really enjoyable.
Good.
Well, you wouldn't have got that beer unless you absolutely pumped them, so thank God for that. And you kicked a goal.
Yeah.
Incredible. Also, the celebration, everyone wants to know the salute. Oh, captain, my captain, what was it for?
First, I just want to touch on the goal. I apologise to JL for getting over the hill and being so far forward. But I'm not sorry for kicking the goal.
No, not at all.
And the celebration, well, actually, it's a funny one. I'm not sure how it actually all came about, but it's my girlfriend's dad, and we were talking one day, and he goes, "Oh, you don't." Something about celebrations, and I'm probably making this up, to be fair. We were talking about it, and it was sort of around the Anzac Day game, and he goes, "If you kick goal," I was like, "I'll give it a salute just because Anzac Day, whatever." Like,
Perfect.
Truth be known, and couldn't get forward, couldn't get near one, and then my moment just came, and first I looked inboard to make sure none of the boys were on, of course. Drilled it, and then saluted. So,
nice.
that's about all there is to it.
As I was watching, I was actually saying to Michaela, my wife, I said, "Is Clarky like playing like forward or wing or something?" I was like, "Geez, he's a long way down there
He's
for
up
it
the
all." But
ground.
obviously, he's finishing the job. You might get a chance more often.
I
for
think
that.
I've given JL a headache now. He doesn't know how to play me. Might be in the forward line next week.
Absolutely brilliant. I guess, speaking on watching the game with your wife you just mentioned, how have you found being in rehab and watching it? Do you find it super tough? I guess when it's on TV as well, when you're not there with the boys.
Yeah, definitely. I find, it can be hard. I really enjoy going to watch it Optus because the stadium itself is awesome. But also you're there with the boys a lot of the time, so you can sort of watch it all together. But yeah, definitely watching it at home can be hard because you might have, as people at home know, you don't see a lot of the running patterns and leading patterns and all that sort of stuff. And when Clarky's getting over the hill when he shouldn't be and all that sort of stuff. But it's making it easy because we've been pretty consistent this year, I feel. Like, obviously 7 and 4 now, so we're in a pretty good position, I like to think. So, we keep winning by, 92 points or whatever it was at the end of the day. I'd be pretty easy sitting at home. We can almost turn it off at 3/4 time because I'm going down to the beach and walk the dog after that. So, no, it was very impressive.
Incredible.
Yeah, anyway, a few more moments throughout the game. We'll go to the forwards first. No one really cares about them, but...
We're saying who cares, yet we've just talked about your goal for 5
Yeah,
minutes,
well-
40 seconds.
I suppose, but...
It was a good goal, mind you.
It was.
Yeah. But anyway, to the forwards who, get paid for kicking goals. It's good to see them poke a few through. But no, it's, in all seriousness, how good was it to see Jai and Sonny sort of not return to form, but return to their reliable goal kicking?
You've got me on poke a few through.
Yeah.
It's the easiest job in the world. Oh, no, it was great. Really, really good to see those boys in action.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, they've copped probably a bit in the media recently, so it's good. I mean, internally, we know what they're capable of, so it was good for them to go out and just execute their role. We knew that they'd do that week in, week out, so obviously, at the end of the day, to get the score was great for them all, but it's not like it's a surprise for us because we knew that they're good at their job and good at their craft, so hopefully get some more confidence for them. They can just keep building.
Yeah, and it was nice sort of before the game. I think Jai got interviewed or something, and he was adamant. That was his word, I think. He hasn't lost confidence in his own ability. He was adamant, and I think that goes to show that he's dead right.
That's great, yeah. He can keep saying that.
4 straight, not bad.
Incredible.
Yeah. And Josh Tracy, you can't forget him.
He's having
a
year.
You go.
No,
What were you going to say? What sort of year was it, Em?
I haven't even written that comment, but scary good. Might I
Yeah.
just say scary good year from him?
Yeah, I was going to say blinder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Or a
Ripper,
belter,
Something.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
no,
Well,
no.
we can keep throwing it back and forth. Josh, you want to add
Yeah, I'm
something?
trying to think of another word here quickly. Like it's thrown him. That's just been top of my head. He in good form though, because he looks scary coming out. Like big presence. The big Kahuna, I'd like that. Get that back going. I like before coming here when the big Kahuna was coming out of there. I like that from the commentary team. So shout out to you in Fox Footy. Get it going again.
Yeah, speaking of freight trains, wouldn't like standing in front of him when he's coming at the footy, that's for sure. But no, he's having a great year, and it's great to see. He's getting some reward for all the work he's put in. He's worked really, really hard, and
And I think just that continuity in the forward line now, I think you can really see it all coming together, everyone working in the same team except when you sneak forward. But I think, it's really nice to see, I guess, everyone contributing and working together and, I guess, helping one another so that we can get scores on the board. I think at the start of the year probably struggled with that a little bit, but it's definitely coming together now, and the weekend was perfect example.
Yeah, a bit of belief that we can actually kick a big score as well. Like, I mean, that's probably been a bit of criticism for us, but be able to go out there, I think they're the third best team for scores against as well. So to be able to go and kick 142 points against something like that is pretty impressive.
Huge.
Yeah, and something like the number one second half scoring team or something as well. So they're a scary good side, Melbourne. Scary good.
Josh said scary too, so I think that was the word that we were going for.
Mids, Caleb's goal. Gee, we're talking about goals a lot today. This is not really defender
Yeah,
theme,
I
but
know.
unless
Better down
I get
back,
four,
just
but
away from the theme, but...
Caleb's goal, that was something special, wasn't it?
I actually didn't write this part of the script, so Brett's really wanting to plug the mids and forwards. But anyways, that's fine. Caleb's goal was unreal, and he didn't vomit this week, so that's the main thing. I love Caleb. I think his work rate is absolutely phenomenal. I think the fans have been also wanting to have him on the podcast, so absolutely can't wait to hopefully get him in the next few weeks. But yeah, he's just a workhorse. So I think when he does get a goal like that, it's something that you want to reward and I guess celebrate the most because he's just working his ass off.
I think like Clarky, he did have a look in board as well. He wasn't actually meaning to kick the goal. He looked in board before he kicked it. So that's a joke too. He definitely did not look in board. He was going straight to it from the start.
Bloody mids. Just don't have the right mindset
He deserves
about there, do
it.
they?
He deserves it.
Yeah. But Sam Switkowski went through the middle. Oh, how good was he?
We posted his. I think the stats came out for him literally 30 seconds after the game because he was unreal.
Career best, I think, disposals-wise for Switter.
Yeah,
I mean,
amazing.
reward for effort because he's had a pretty solid year
And
again.
how many score involvements did he get? He was
10, I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
10.
yeah. He was
Unreal.
fast, like deceivingly quick.
Unreal.
He might have you covered.
No,
I feel like
I hope so.
Switter is such a role player as well. So I feel like he's going out there every week to play his role, do what he needs to do, and I think then it pays off because he's had an absolute blinder on the weekend.
Yeah, no, he had a scary good game. Yeah.
Oh, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. And then next,
Back.
what have we got? 1 point. We've got 1 point for the back.
Yeah. Well, what is the point, Em?
The point is, Jord putting up inside mid type numbers again.
Yeah.
You've been consistent with this.
Yeah, Melbourne would have been happy. I kicked half and back to him yesterday. Could not kick a drop punt.
That's okay because you kicked a goal.
Yeah, it's
So that's
alright.
worth 6 points, mate.
I know. Some little fella asked me for my boots half the game. I had no, like...
You like
I
have them,
couldn't rip them off quick enough to give them to him. I didn't want to see those things. Didn't want to see them ever again. How about the sprinkler I took out the ground too?
What
Oh,
did
really?
you?
On top of the 50, I saw
Nah,
that.
just,
little-
I went to
No,
kick
what'd
it
you-
and just fully took a big
Yeah,
chunk out
when?
of the deck. Late in the fourth quarter.
Oh no! Well, there you go. Alice Springs no longer beautiful.
Yeah. No, it was a recipe for disaster. One step, land back, and just cramping, doing the whole
He's
lot.
got turf toe now.
Yeah,
Bit of
I've
kick club
actually-
this week with Bob, I reckon. That'll sort you out.
I've done me Cindy kicking a sprinkler. Not bad, is it?
Oh no! No, incredible, great game. And I guess we've already touched on Alice Springs, the background being incredible. You spoke about after the game as well, Jord, the celebration. How was the crowd? And was it incredible to get around that community as well?
Yeah, it was actually a really cool experience. Going up there, it's a completely different environment and something that I was looking forward to and that sort of thing going up there. And it was it's a beautiful place.
Ground? Big
Beautiful.
ground? Look,
Massive
yeah.
ground.
Yeah.
It's actually bigger than the G, I believe. A couple of
Really?
metres longer and certainly a lot wider. Yeah.
So
and
for you to sneak up forward, you had to run a long way.
That's a big hill to get over.
let's just say there's a lot of anticipation.
It's incredible.
But yeah, no, the crowd were like super friendly. Like it was awesome. It was just such a nice feel to it. You know, that people were wearing Melbourne stuff and Freo stuff, but I felt like everyone was sort of
So good.
going for everyone. They were all cheering when the goal was kicked. Like it was just a
incredible.
really cool sort of setup. So.
Yeah.
The ground itself was a little bit boggy and a bit wet, but they'd had a bit of rain there, I think. So I believe one of the blokes said up until Wednesday or Thursday, the ground was actually pretty much underwater with the amount of rain
right.
they had. So, it was like, I don't
Saw
know
the
if you're
leaf
familiar
blowers
with
out pre-game. That was pretty amusing. I don't know if you got a chance to go and have a look at them, but I don't know how
No.
much they were actually doing, but it looked quite funny on the telecast.
No, I don't think they did a whole heap, but
Was
kudos.
there a big screen there or anything as well? Because there's no criteria for Wharfie time though. That's what I was going to bring up next. It
wasn't our home game.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Of course.
I don't know if you can play Wharfie time when you leave 15 goals
Can we
in front.
can we bring Wharfie time in for away games at the opposition's oval and when we're up by 10 goals? Perfect.
I think the Oppo will be all over that. They'll let us have that for sure. But no, really cool ground.
Yeah,
like
so
probably
good.
up there one of my favourites in terms of,
Well, the photos were amazing, even like the videos post game, like I said, and then even when you're watching the live stream of the mountain backdrop was stunning. So I think it was really great. Anywhere that you've played, Josh, that's like outside of your big grounds, your big ovals?
We had a game up in when I was at the Gold Coast. We played up in Mackay, up that sort of way, which is interesting. Yeah, it was as sort of smaller community ones are good, and obviously in pre-season games you get out and sort of get into the community a little bit more, which is also good. I think it's good to be able to grow the game a bit. Shout out to Warrnambool, my hometown. They got their infrastructure sorted out, so hopefully in a few years' time I'll be able to have a game down there. That'd be good fun. But no, not too much apart from that. Haven't played enough games to go too far.
Hopefully soon, yes. No, that's incredible. And I guess we always touch on each week. We talk about the football element, anything that happened off field, pre-game, post. Oh, the voice. Hello, Emma. Yeah. Pre-game, post-game, stories, goss. JL's keys intact still.
JL's keys intact. What did happen? Phil Merriman decided to run a table tennis tournament.
Yeah, nice.
Mine had huge failure.
No buy-in, or just
cheated me out of me and Josh Tracy out of a game. So Phil, you are pathetic.
All right, nice.
No, and I actually, to be fair,
pathetic.
we were up 5-0. Got a bit ahead of ourselves and lost, I think, 11-8. So we got.
Mate, you needed Wharfie time. That's when we needed Wharfie time.
It wasn't our home game though, so we couldn't get it. It was actually a great little initiative by Phil, and I'm just holding a grudge because I hate losing.
Of course.
Felt like I was hard done by.
He's the victim.
But I think, my lack of ability really sorted us out. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
But, no, not too many stories, There wasn't a whole heap to do. I think a few boys went to a few, Simpsons Gap or something like that. And,
nice.
Pretty cool place.
Bit of sightseeing?
Yeah.
no
Well,
business class seats this week either. This is a bit hard, or
No, we didn't get 12 this week.
Yeah,
we
bugger.
actually got a big duck egg, so...
How small was the plane?
one of those little ones like little kids play with.
Yeah, perfect.
No, it was actually a really good trip.
Well, there you have it. Shall we move on to Josh? Everything about Josh.
Yeah, this is
where we're at.
Yeah.
the podcast got a cap on time limit, or
No.
that's good.
You start us off, Jordan.
We've got 4 days off.
Yeah.
We can chew into it. Yeah. We touched a little bit on the rehab and the hip replacement sort of setup, but I don't know enough about it, and I'm certainly no doctor. So, how is that all going? What are you up to outside of footy? What are you doing to keep busy? Give us the full lowdown.
Yeah. 27th November last year, we went and got the hip replacement done. So we're just over 6 months now. It was a pretty big decision to sort of make that call and go and get it done. But yeah, myself and the medical team made it with the goal of me getting back to play football with the best education that we had around us. So probably about 40 years younger than what I probably would have thought of having a hip replacement, to be honest. It's something that I never would have had to have considered, I thought, in my time. But yeah, just my hip just got to the point where I couldn't run properly. I couldn't essentially do my job of playing football. So made that decision to go and get it sorted. As I said, 6 months down the track. So we're looking to try and get back into some more football drills in the not so distant future, and then the aim is to get back and play this year. That's what I want to do. That's what I'm trying to achieve. The tricky part is that it's never been done before, so there's no real blueprint of when you should be at 12-week mark you should be doing this, and the 16-week mark you should be doing that. So I'm change of direction, full running, kicking, jumping, all that sort of stuff. It's just a matter of trying to navigate that with the limited knowledge we do have of it all. So no one's got back to play AFL, and that's my goal, to be the first. There's been people who've gone back and played with resurfacing, which is similar, just a little bit different. But your physio background, Em, I'm sure you'd be able to explain a little bit more detail than what I have, to be honest. But the early days, some of the memories were funniest when at Coburn up here in the pools, just doing some gentle walking in the water with myself, and the average age would have been 65, and we're all there comparing our notes from surgery about how did you go and who was your surgeon and how's the pain and all this sort of stuff. And it was very funny early days trying to navigate those things. And a lot of the time people didn't believe me that I'd had a hip replacement because it's something that people might have thought I had an arthroscope or that I wasn't explaining it properly. And I said, I'm pretty confident I know my body. I know it's been done to me. So it's been an interesting journey, but I've kept myself pretty busy out of it with doing a bit of stuff for the women's program, which has been really enjoyable. A fair bit in the community work. So shout out to Mitch and the community team upstairs at the club here. And then just trying to be a bit of a vibe guy, to be honest. I try and interact with as many people as possible on a daily basis. So that involves a lot of wandering to try and strike up conversations with anyone in the building a lot of the time. So thank you to everyone who's kept me busy.
I think we need to probably cross off at least 10 questions that you've just answered there in the one go.
Read out mine. No, but you didn't touch on some of this, well, I was going to say stupid, but borderline ridiculous challenges you've done. Talk us through a few of the swim.
Yeah.
And what happened there, because there's a little debacle.
Yeah.
The bike. Talk us through some of these challenges.
And just on the bike, you touched on the other day with us AFLW girls that you actually hadn't ridden a bike in years. Like you can't even remember the last time you were able to ride a bike with your hip. So it just shows how amazing, like obviously needing this hip replacement, but you've got a brand new hip in there and you're now riding a bike for the first time, like a 6-year-old kid.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's, as we touched on the other day, it's things you sort of take for granted sometimes, like simple as being able to ride a bike properly. Yeah, I remember that.
Tying shoes.
Yeah, correct, all that sort of stuff. Couldn't bend down and do those things, couldn't pick the golf ball out of the hole and all that stuff. So being able to do that was really nice. And back to the challenges, Clark, I early days wanted to set out some goals for myself. I'm a pretty driven, competitive person, so I wanted to swim 10Ks in the pool, so I trained up for that. I did heaps of 5K swims and all that, and the boredom was pretty excruciating at times, but we got to game day and I was all prepped and ready to go and started the watch as I did usually every day, and got to the first hour and looked at my watch and I thought, geez, I'm a bit off pace, this is no good. So then kept swimming and got to the second hour and I realised that the watch hadn't worked for the first 2 hours properly. So I've nearly in tears and swam for another 20 minutes and cracked the shits and walked out of the pool. So I think I ended up doing 9K and I won't be attempting the 10K again.
How long did it take you?
That was 2.5 hours straight. Nah. Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Better man than me. I would have got 50 metres and cracked the shits, I reckon. No,
it was good. Yeah, it's good fun. Those things have been enjoyable though, I think, because at the end of the day, I can't get out there and do the competitive stuff with the footy and kick goals and have a laugh and get that real adrenaline rush. So we sort of sat down with the medical team and said these are the few things that I want to tick off, and I've got the time to train up for them and have a crack. Some of them have been pretty challenging, but it's more to try to do that thing, challenge myself and see how far I can go for it all. So it's been tough but good fun.
You've certainly really put the boys on notice with how determined and that you are, and how headstrong, I suppose, because it takes a lot of mental strength to do that as well, especially in a pretty tough 100%. Period where you are. And take my hat off to you. I
think that knowledge also is invaluable to pass on to other players going through a long-term injury. Like you just spoke about game day. Your game day was getting in a pool and swimming 10Ks to get that adrenaline rush that you would get playing footy. So I think to pass that on and educate other people on setting these small kind of goals and then celebrating them when you hit them, I think is really important. Yeah,
absolutely. I think I probably brushed over it there as well. You talked about Ange being able to experience the lows and that sort of stuff as well. I mean, I've probably glossed over it and said it's all honky-dory and it's pretty easy, but there's definitely been some times where it's been pretty frustrating and boring and all that sort of stuff. But I've had some good people around me to make it easier, and hopefully with Ange we can wrap our arms around her as well and get her through what's going to be a pretty challenging period.
Definitely.
All right, now to the footy journey. So raised in Warrnambool, as we touched on before, and played for North Warrnambool Eagles. That's where it all started. So take us through your footy pathway from then. Or even before that.
I was never an amazing footballer. I always really enjoyed it. Experienced probably a bit of a growth spurt towards the later 17, 18 years old. Started to play pretty consistent footy. Was a bit of a big fish in a small pond. Played some decent footy towards the end of that, and then got invited to go to Werribee in the VFL. I was against it because why would I want to go and challenge myself? I was pretty happy. I was going out every weekend as an 18-year-old kid and playing some good footy and enjoying myself in a small town. And then my dad said to me, no, I'll drive you down to Werribee and we'll see how this goes. So we used to drive down to Werribee 3 times a week, which is a 6-hour round trip, amongst working and other things, and then was lucky enough to get a list spot down there. So walked in and played what was called Development League at the time in the VFL. They didn't have the like a twos competition anymore, but it used to be Development League. Played that for about 18 months. Played some consistent footy, and then got a crack to go in the VFL. Played average footy to start with, consistent footy again, and then was lucky enough to go to the Gold Coast. So I probably brushed over the story a little bit.
I was gonna pull you back on that.
Yes, yeah. So I probably, every time I went up to a new level, I sort of felt like I was just going to go in and do what I'd done at lower levels. Can't be that much harder, and got a bit of a wake-up call early days with the running, the professionalism, all that sort of stuff. I didn't realise how challenging it was all going to be, but I was pretty driven to always get the best out of myself when I got into those environments. So I can remember as clear as day all the time trials from day one and the nerves and all that sort of stuff. But I was always very lucky to have good people around me to keep driving me to get the best out of myself, and especially my dad, things like that he used to sacrifice all the driving to get me up to those training sessions and games, and that it's gone a long way to get to where I am now.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. It's an amazing story, and I think it gets even better because I feel like the challenge that you experience in your draft year, if you don't mind touching on it, Josh, your eye injury that occurred before you got drafted, I guess would have put a bit of doubt in your mind whether you were going to get picked up or not. So can you talk us through that? I
got drafted a little bit later, so 22. So I sort of had a little bit of sniff at the end of my second year in the VFL. I had a few clubs were asking how I was going, so I put in a really strong pre-season, was in career best nick, feeling really sharp, went out, played some really consistent footy early days, first 9 games in the VFL, and then down at Frankston one day I just went to take a mark and just had a stray finger in my eye, just literally scratched me. Thought it was nothing, just went off and sort of put some saline solution in there, and then my vision just went completely black. So I went to the hospital after that, and essentially there's a valve behind my eye that had been detached and permanently damaged, causing me to be blind in my eye for about a month. So footy was canned for the rest of the year, and essentially my prescription was go in a dark room, don't read anything, don't look at anything, don't expose yourself to sunlight. And for someone who's pretty sociable like myself, it was a pretty challenging period, because I would literally go into my bedroom as soon as the sun would get up, and I'd lock myself in there for the day. I couldn't watch any screens, so I used to try and make a fair few phone calls to people and that sort of stuff, but being in the middle of the day, it was pretty challenging because everyone actually had a life and was working and all those sort of things. And then the other thing was a bit daunting, was I'd put all my eggs in this basket of hopefully get into playing AFL. That was my goal at the time, and I was halfway through the year, don't know if I'd done enough, was a bit worried about all that sort of stuff, but luckily it all come good for me. So I still have, my pupil on my left side won't constrict properly, so some people at times will think that I might be having a bit of a heart problem or a seizure and that sort of stuff. So a few times when I've had concussions, people think that
your pupil's blind.
yeah, correct. And I said, no, it's all good. It's nothing to it at all. So that's something that I've been able to work through and that stuff. The funniest thing was coming back from it all was I had no depth perception. I really struggled with catching and all that. So no joke, my wife and I, we played ping pong like hours and hours to practice depth perception, that and tennis and all that sort of stuff, just to try and get used to the depth perception side of things of it all. So it's come really good now, and I have no issues with it all. But yeah, it was a bit of a strange one there for a period of time at the start, for sure.
Crazy.
Honestly insane. And I guess that's why you can talk so well. You were locked in a dark room for a month and had to make phone calls.
Had some good conversations to yourself, that's for sure.
So let's just skip to the best part, is that you're at Fremantle now. You were traded in the 2022 season. The trade happened the day before your Bucks party. Tell us that whirlwind couple of days, and then I guess how you found your transition to playing here at Freo.
Yeah, I'll start with the Bucks. That was crazy because I was flying out from Gold Coast at the time to Melbourne, where I was living, and the trade all went through, and then there was a bit of media street to happen. So I've just started my Bucks, and obviously the boys are pretty keen to have a few frothies and that sort of stuff. So we fly to Melbourne. As soon as I land, it was the first few interviews, and then we go out that night, obviously get home at a pretty decent time, and then it's off to the races the next day. And silly me, I've told the media that I'm going to the races and all this sort of stuff, and then the boys are going to dress me in this big orange suit and all this sort of stuff, as you do at your Bucks parties. So we ticked all those sort of requirements off, but then me at the end of a few of the media interviews, I asked for a few tips off a few people and that sort of stuff, and they were happy enough to send it through. But it was an absolute whirlwind, and I was just stoked to get it done, to be honest. I was really looking forward to a bit of a change with footy, and I've never really been over WA before, and it's been an amazing change. Club's unbelievable. Loved everyone here so far. They've welcomed me with open arms, and I've been enjoying my football a lot until my injury now, and hopefully we can get back out there and play some more AFL football. That's the plan anyway.
Yep.
It's amazing.
Touching on playing football. So your last game of football, technically, was the Kimberley Nines on the beach in Broome with the local kids. How'd you find that whole experience?
Yeah, it was brilliant actually. I probably didn't realise how hard it is to play football on the beach, to be honest with you, Clarky. It was, really challenging. There's lots of young talented kids up there that were goose stepping me sideways, and I probably made a bit of a fool out of myself there for the 3 days I was up there, but absolutely great experience. Never been to Cable Beach before or Broome, so it was beautiful. Sunsets were amazing. It's been a really big few days, but what the Purple Hands Foundation's doing up in the Kimberley is an amazing program, and for me to be able to go there at the end of it all and probably take a bit of the credit for doing not a hell of a lot behind the scenes, it was an amazing experience, and something that hopefully I can get back up there again.
Incredible. And I suppose that just segues in, I guess, all the work you've done with the community, but also in the AFLW program. You were awarded our Club Person of the Year last year in 2023, which I think is a huge honour, and I don't know if anyone's ever done that in their first year at a club. So that is incredible. How did you feel when that occurred?
Yeah, I felt pretty overwhelmed, to be honest with you, as in it's something you don't set out for awards and that stuff. To be able to achieve that in my first year, the way I look at the award is essentially being recognised for who I am as a person. It's something very special to be accepted for who you are, and that's okay. Like, you don't have to be anything more than that. So sometimes I might be able to rub people the wrong way with I talk a lot and I can be quite extroverted and quite loud, but to be actually recognised and encouraged to be that person is pretty special. So I was very, very grateful for that, and was probably pimped out by some very good people like you two in the room, and Brett, who's also back out here.
I would have been knocked out in the first round, don't worry about that.
The cameras are actually quite hot. We've had to pause, so not sure if that's mine or Josh's. It's definitely not yours. All right, moving on. You were just speaking about influential people in your life and how you made it through these challenging times because of them. Talk us through the influence your wife, Michaela, has had on your journey and how much she means to you now. Yeah,
she's been there since day one. So we were married end of 2022, November 12, like I remember the date. So she's been there for before Werribee, when I went to university in Geelong and all that sort of stuff. So she's seen me, when I was a little party animal going out every weekend to now hopefully being semi-professional and not going out very much. She's been able to help me through the lows of my rehab and a few things like that, the getting dropped, the stress about contracts and the trades and all that sort of stuff, and then also being there for the good stuff of debuting and getting traded, getting a chance to play AFL football, and the steps all the way through from Warrnambool all the way up until to the AFL stuff. So I can't thank her enough for the support she's had for me, and sometimes it can be very selfish in the AFL world, where I feel like the partners do sacrifice a lot. She's been to 3 states with me now for my football, and we did long distance for most of last year. She was studying on the Gold Coast, because at the end of the day she's got to make sure she has her life and her chance. So she'll finish occupational therapy at the end of this year, and I'm looking forward to seeing what she can do with her career at the same time.
It's amazing.
And got here, proposal story. We love a proposal story.
We do.
Just
apparently it's very cute.
Well, so it was the end of COVID, and I struggled getting a ring, so I got the ring sorted, and then I didn't know where to hide it, so I actually gave it to one of the staff at the Gold Coast Suns, Ben Maybon, shout out. He looked after it for me while we were in the hubs, and then I got the ring back off me, planned for the date for it and all that sort of stuff. And then I ended up hiding it in the one place where she would never look, which is my golf bag, because she would never go there ever, which, shout out if anyone is thinking of special spots, that's an easy one, because they'll never look there. And then anyway, we're walking along the beach, which was a pretty common occurrence for us up in the Gold Coast. And I'd planned we're going to do it in this certain spot, and my heart was beating out of my chest, because I was just more nervous I was going to stuff up the surprise. So I've got my pocket, there's this big ring sitting in the side there, and I'm like, please don't look down there. Anyway, we get to the spot, and I said, we're going really well, blah, 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 I love you so much. And then she's looked out the waves, and I've got down on one knee and said, will you marry me? Happy days. So when lucky she said yes, and the rest is history. Here we are now.
Amazing. Well, you might not be married after some of the goss that she's actually sent me.
Interesting to see what
no, it's great. So it's very funny. I was laughing on the way in this morning because I roll in at 6:45. So we didn't start till 7, and Josh's car is in the car park. And I don't know if you know, George, but every day, Josh's car, that red car, is literally here before everyone else. Like, he's so early. So anyways, Michaela said to stitch you up and say, it's all good and well for you to be early for every day of the year, every time, except your wedding day when you made her wait for you. That is ridiculous.
That I'll never live that down. And it's just on the wedding day, I just made the biggest mistake. We just booked the Ubers at the wrong time to get to the wedding. And I just actually, it wasn't even the Uber. We booked private drivers.
Well, surely you pre-booked.
I booked them in no worries in time. And then I remember rocking up and I saw her van ahead of mine. I'm like, oh no, I made a big mistake here. I'm late because it's just tradition. The girls got to rock up late to make sure.
That's all right. Keep them guessing. I don't mind it. Keep it guessing.
You might not be coming. George, you can go on the next point there, mate.
Yeah, we've got written here, you freeballed to the supermarket and were dacked at Baker's Delight.
The best part, dacked at Baker's Delight. It's absolutely got me.
Who's dacked you in the supermarket?
I used to live with 3. That's ridiculous. Ethan Petterwood, Bevan Shelley, Isaac Miller. That is terrible. We used to go to the Eastern Beach in Geelong. Used to do our recovery and that sort of stuff. So I did it in the budgies and then I wouldn't worry. I just chuck shorts on over the top. And we go in the supermarket beforehand, walking around. Little did I know, the boys had planned this the whole time. So they've been sort of seeing what aisle would be best. So I go on to Baker's Delight. I've got me cinnamon scroll, whatever I've got. I put the hand over the money in this hand, and I'm getting the thing back this way, and then straight down.
No, you can't.
Boxes straight down. And they've got it on video too, which is even worse. Every birthday they send it through me. So happy birthday, mate. So that was pretty humbling.
Oh no! Could I
the old fella out at Baker's Delight, eh?
Oh no!
That's a great stitch up from her. I'm
She's
remembered
nailed
that. That's
it.
shocking.
Oh no! It's just the one-liner of dacked at Baker's Delight. You can't be serious. Alrighty, next point. She also said this is actually quite sweet. It's not bad at all. But you used to sleep on the floor as a child. Can you talk us through this one?
This is ridiculous. I should never have told her this stuff. When I was younger, I just used to have a few little idiosyncrasies, I suppose you'd say. And one of them was I went through this period where I just didn't feel like if there was people outside that were homeless or didn't deserve their bed, I was like, well, I don't deserve to sleep in my bed.
Isn't that so
I reckon
sweet?
I used to be 4 years old, so I'd put my little pillow on the ground and blanket on me, and I'd sleep on the ground, and then that's shocking for her to bring that up.
That's so beautiful.
It just gives us an insight into the person you are, I suppose.
Yeah,
But you've kicked all 3 of your brothers out of their bed so you can sleep in theirs, George. Bloody hell. You wouldn't be on the floor, mate.
I think anyone would kick my brothers out of their house. Jesus Christ. Also used to sleep in your uniform, ready for the next day.
Yeah, well, it probably comes back to a bit of that punctuality sort of stuff. I don't know. It's always been something big in me. But yeah, I remember at school, clear as day, I would have been grade 3 or 4. I'd be in the school uniform the night before so I could get ready to go up the next morning. So not the school started at 9 o'clock and I'd be up at 6 just raring to get into school. So
that's what cost you on your wedding day. You didn't go to bed in your suit.
Oh, no, I can't. And the last thing would be, we talk about being, sporty people. You obviously grew up playing footy, but clearly wasn't going to make a career out of tennis. Michaela has sent me this photo, this vintage photo of yourself and your family on holidays, and you have absolutely cracked it because you've lost a game of tennis.
Yeah, I was a pretty sore loser when I was younger. A bit like Clarky, we were pretty competitive people. So, yeah, it took me a long time to get over my tempers when I was younger. I used to play against my dad and one of our dad's good family friends as well. Little 2v2 game. I reckon we went 10 years, no wins, 0 wins. And we used to play for an ice cream at the end of it all. And there's this horrendous photo now looking back where we've had to do the obligatory shake hands and get the photo at the end. And I am filthy. My face is filthy. If we could cut a little photo of this, we'll see if we can squeeze it in there for you.
No, perfect. Well, that next time we'll take a photo of George playing table tennis.
I'm glad you've said you've made inroads on your ability to, recover after a loss, because I certainly haven't. So
I'll give you some tips after this.
Yeah, I need a bit of help in that area.
Beauty. Alrighty, we are moving on to our Getting Defensive segment.
I don't like Freo. I've never liked. Nah, that's a lot of feedback on Twitter, so I'll take that back.
Righto, getting defensive. So we'll hit it off with worst thing about having a locker next to Tabsy.
There's crap everywhere all the time.
Yep, no, that's fair enough. Best dressed teammate?
I'll say Sam Sukowski, I think, is a bit of a help from Sav, but as in his fiancée Sav. But yeah, Switter's pretty good.
Yeah, no doubt. Favourite board game?
Monopoly have to be, for sure.
Death row meal?
Steak and veg. It's pretty plain, boring, isn't it?
Yeah, you took the words out of your mouth. Last time you called your mum?
Yesterday. I was on the phone to her.
Very nice. How often do you call your mum?
Oh, probably every couple of days, I reckon. Yeah,
Oh,
mum and
yeah,
dad.
good
Yeah,
man.
very
That
regularly,
question,
I reckon.
that wasn't in there. I just took that.
He's gone up there.
What are you most afraid of?
Spiders, hate them. Just like, yuck. Creepy crawlies. No
what?
good. Shocking.
Okay. Pre-game superstition?
Good sleep the night before and get there on time, as we've touched on.
I was
It's a big
worried
good-
you were going to say.
No sleeping in the kit?
I was worried
Yeah,
you were
should-
going to say being dacked. Your biggest fear. He's traumatised. He's got PTSD.
I always make sure they're tied up nice and tight now, so there's no chance.
Best junior footy moment?
Kicking 9 would be my best footy moment. Yeah.
Gee whiz.
Wow.
Name another team you follow in another sport.
South Barwon Swans is my sister's netball team. Does that count? That counts,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
absolutely that counts. Biggest name following you on Instagram?
I heard this last week, and I use Instagram very irregularly, so it'll be either one of you two, so you can have it between you. There you go. Whoever's got
Don't fight over it, Em.
bit of an ego boost.
Flattered.
Oh, okay.
I
Well
think-
done. That was actually quick.
Yeah, well, it actually is called Getting Defensive. It's supposed to be a quick little segment after Sharpie just
That's
took
what I
half an
thought.
hour to get through it last week.
But also, he named like 4 different games that weren't
Yeah.
ball games, and then
Yeah.
we
I
didn't
still
know
don't know
what
what
they
that
were.
game is, the one he
Yeah.
said last week. I was,
Can Kanaska?
Then we asked him about his best footy moment. He ran us through 4 quarters. So.
All right, so we're moving on to, I would say, the most important part of the podcast, other than the guest segment, and that is our McFarland medal.
Luke McFarland right on half time. It's McFarland! And Luke McFarland!
Well, it's time, and at the end of the year, we are going to dish out something. We're not sure what it is yet. That is named the McFarland Medal. So it each highlights the best or your favourite defensive act of the weekend, or
We're not really going to do it over the weekend. Like, you can do it from the weekend, or you can just do something you've noticed this year that's been incredible, I would say.
Yeah,
George brought up Switter's smother.
Swither's Smother's probably still at the top of the
Yeah.
leaderboard. It's probably got, first, second, third,
Yeah.
fourth, and fifth covered at the moment.
He's got a fair few of
But
them,
yeah,
which is fair,
defensive act from the weekend. Em,
Me?
Corbs.
Alrighty. I will start us off with, I just want to highlight Moose. Alex Pearce has been absolutely incredible this year, and we just spoke about off mic when he drives his legs out of the back line, and he runs quite upright. Geordie did mention he gets the ski.
Yeah, he gets the ski poles out, gets the arms going.
I'm
And
more impressed as a key defender running for handball receives at the same time. It's like just a little 1-2.
He's
It's very
taken
impressive.
off. His player's still in the cage, and he's out.
He's well over the hill
No,
anyway.
so I'm just going to, I think just Alex Pearce in general, he's in all-Australian form at the moment as a key defender, and when he drives his legs out of the back line, it's pretty incredible to watch.
Yeah, I'll have your co-host here, I'll have Clarky, only because there's a little bit of I'm a forward at heart, so there's a little bit of natural flair there as well. Obviously, getting over the hill and kicking a goal, but yeah, in all seriousness, your year's been absolutely outstanding, mate. I think he's talked about Switter with his smothers and that sort of stuff, but your chase down pressure's been out of control. So probably have you and Sebit Queck for the fastest 2 at the club. I'd love to see that race, but
Sebbit.
the goal as well, we're happy with that.
Thanks, mate. I appreciate that.
And what about you, Jordan?
I'll go have my goal as well. No, I'm kidding.
Nah, it's a two to one.
I'm going to put in there, it was actually just Chappie. I just love Chap.
Yeah, he's great.
I think everyone just loves Chap.
Yep.
And Bailey Fritsch didn't have a massive impact on the game yesterday, but that's to do with Chap because he's a gun. And
He's a gun.
nothing like massive that would have just stood out to anyone at home, but the way that kid just goes about his role and gets it done every single week. He did take a nice contested intercept mark, which I was just like, he's a good player, this kid. Yeah.
This kid goes
And
all right.
My teammate, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm getting Chap up there.
Perfect. No,
Well
love
done,
it.
Chap.
Well done, Chappie. Incredible. All right, moving on. We do usually preview the week ahead, but we do have a bye coming up. How are you two going to spend your 4-day break? In the veggie garden, maybe?
Nah, the storm's got a hold of him.
no.
Sugar. Tomatoes
Destroyed,
no
gone.
longer.
Gone.
Oh, a bit battered and bruised.
You
Between the
put
dog
nets
and the
up,
weather,
mate.
I've had an absolute
Do we get some produce soon? Is that going to come
Yeah,
in?
well, I
or-
think we need to bring some in.
Righto, what do you want?
I actually like tomatoes.
I'm not the spudge here, I got everything.
You
What do
don't.
want?
You don't eat tomatoes, so bring them in for us.
Yeah, you're right.
What else is there? You said lettuce.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not going to try.
I don't want to give all my secrets away, right?
Yeah.
But how we
it's all
spent...
David's.
No,
secrets
in
are,
all
but-
seriousness, how am I spending the 4-day break? Well, I'm actually going to my girlfriend's farm.
Amazing.
Yeah, so just make sure everything's going
Can we
right.
stop saying your girlfriend? Her
Paige,
name's Paige,
Paige,
actually.
sorry,
yeah,
Paige,
yeah.
yes.
She's the cat. I can't speak. She is the cat's mother. We need to start using her name.
Yeah, I apologise. I've never been accused of having great English, so I apologise. Paige, yes. I'm going to
Paige.
Paige's farm.
Whereabouts is that? Talk us through it.
Yeah, it's in Dumbleyung. It's, don't know exactly where it is. I've got no idea.
But you're going to Dumbleyung.
I'm from the city. I'm going to Dumbleyung.
Yeah, perfect. And Josh, where are you heading?
I'll just be grinding away, to be honest with you. Yeah, I got one of my best mates coming over from Vic. For him and his partner are going to come over for a few days. They've never been over here before, so he's got his helicopter pilot's license. So we're
Amazing.
hoping to sneak a little go there, depending on wind. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. That'll be good fun for him. So,
Great.
And then apart from that, it'll probably be just a bit of running and probably a bit of help out with the AFLW stuff. What about you? 4-day break?
No, we're in, mate. Day one of pre-season today for AFLW.
Double time today, is that right?
The grind
'Cause
doesn't
it's
stop.
The public holiday, or
Yeah, well, I mean, I hope so. I'm probably
Yeah.
going to put my timesheet in later.
Yeah, good idea. That'll be
We'll
good.
wait and see. Otherwise,
You've had your fair share of holidays. You went to Japan. You did it
yeah,
all.
I have. I'm saying.
Did it all.
I'm just saying. No, I'll be here all week.
Oh,
I'm
right.
not going anywhere.
looking for
You'll
some-
probably be working in Dumbleyung too.
Yeah,
No,
if
can't.
JL's listening, I'll be picking rocks.
Gardening? No, I can't. All right,
No
no.
dirt on these fingernails. Tell you that much.
That was brilliant. All right, well, that concludes our episode 2. How have you found it, Josh?
yeah, it's good. It's been good fun. Plenty of banter. Yeah, it seems like when the cameras come on, everyone's puts on a bit of a facade, which we love. So,
Yeah.
is that
We're
fair or
looking
is
at
that
you,
harsh?
Em. We're looking at you.
I can't even do old matey here with a straight face. Can crack a smile.
Or the goal. The goal's
And the goal.
Alright. Anyway, Josh, how'd we go?
10 out of 10. I'm
Yeah,
impressed.
yeah,
Hopefully, this gives enough recognition now that hopefully Caleb can get on, because it seems like the fans are pretty keen
Yeah,
to
we
get
do,
him in.
and we
so
need to question him over that vomit 6 times.
Yeah,
And we
yeah.
need to
6
go
is a
back and
lot.
look at the
It's
vision.
So much.
It's a great number 6, but it's a lot of vomiting.
Can't deal. All right, well, thanks for listening to the Better Down Back podcast. We'll see you next week.
Cheers.